Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ALIA ROSLEE. I will explain regarding our first question of our case study, which is Fadila. So for the first question in this case of Fadila is, what is the social protection scheme under the Employees Social Security Act 1969 that available for Fadila? In this case, there are two types of scheme that are entitled to Fadila according to her situation. For the first scheme is Employee Injury Scheme. This is because Fadila is conducting the task given by the employees and got accident at the middle of the time when she was going back home after doing the task. There are 4 situations under the scheme, which are industrial accident, committing accident, accident during emergency, and occupational disease. For Fadila cases, it is under the committing accident. This is because Fadila got accident on her way back to the office after delivering the important document to one of the subsidiaries of Maju Teguh Construction in Rahang. The second scheme that Fadila entitled to is Invalidity Pension Scheme. In the case of Fadila, she is in the condition of incurable and no longer capable of earning due to her physical ability. After the accident, Fadila had coma for a month. After a month, she completely lost her physical ability due to the accident that she got a month before. So, in here, there are 2 types of scheme that Fadila entitled to, which is Employee Injury Scheme and Invalidity Pension Scheme. Thank you.
My name is ZAHIDA ZOLKAFLI. As the second question, Fadila entitled to get the several benefit from Social Security Program in Malaysia. The first benefit that Fadila entitled to is medical benefit. According to Socso, the employees that suffer from employment injury or occupational disease may receive free medical treatment at panel clinic or government hospital until fully recovered. As for serious injury, the employee eligible for second-class ward and special treatment will be provided if required. Regarding Fadila's situation, she had serious injury due to accident on her way back from conducting tasks given from employer. She had been in a coma for a month and the accident affected her brain. Thus, she was eligible to get the medical benefit. As for the second benefit that Fadila entitled to is permanent disablement benefit. According to Socso, the daily rate of permanent disablement benefit is 90% of the employee's average assumed daily wage, which subject to a minimum of 30 ringgit per day or a maximum of 118.50 cents per day. The claim must be made within 12 months from the last date of the temporary disablement. The assessment and payment claim will be referred to the medical board for permanent disablement assessment. Regarding to Fadila's situation, her injury has affected her brain due to accident on conducting her task given by employer. As consequences, she had limited movement and unable to work anymore. Thus, she eligible to claim permanent disablement benefits.
Okay, next, the benefit that Fadila entitled is facility on physical or occasional rehabilitation. Okay, basically there's a lot of physical rehabilitation, but the situation, her brain was affected and her movement also limited. So she need this facilities benefit to ease her life, her daily life. This benefit, all the expenses of the rehabilitation supported by the Social Security Organisation, but according to the rate, term and condition. Other than that, the benefit that Fadila can claim is the contribution not remitted. According to the Employment Provident Fund, contribution for any given month is deducted from the previous month's salary. The employer must pay the contribution on the rate specified on the third schedule EPF Act 1991. To take a legal recourse toward her employers. According to this Fadila situation, claim or complain contribution are not remitted since 2050. Okay, lastly, the benefit that Fadila can take is Fadila is entitled to get invalidity pension under the Invalidity Pension Scheme. Scheme is insured person to entitled will receive the pension at the rate 50% of the average assumed monthly wages. Then the Fadilah is fulfill the requirement that she not attend 60 years old, the time of invalidity notice receive, and at least have 12 months of contribution. Fadilah can claim of the statutory instruments 193 of 1993. Submit this application within 12 months.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad LUQMAN Hakim bin Muhammad Yusri. For case study presentation, I will explain about qualifying condition for invalidity pension scheme that Fadilah entitled after having an accident at the workplace based on case study. One of qualifying condition for invalidity pension scheme is the person are not attained 60 years of age at the time invalidity notice. This is mean the person who are having an accident, especially at workplace, are not reached at the age of 16. Based on this case study, Fadilah obviously shown that Fadilahs are not 60 years old, because to become a dispatch for any kind of company, the company prefer to have a young age of individual. At the same time, in the case study, state that Fadilah have 3 children kids still at school. So that's mean Fadilah are not reached at the age of 16 at the time of she are having an accident. Secondly, person need to be suffering from specific morbid condition of permanent nature, also one of the qualifying condition to entitle for invalidity pension scheme. That means an individual that incapable to engaging it in any substantial gainful activity from the injury at the workplace or any place that they are performing their job under provision of the company. Based on the case study, Fadilah condition after having an accident back from performing their job is very bad condition because she is in a coma for 1 month. She also have limitation on her movement, as well as doctor diagnosed that she is unable to work again after having an accident.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MOHAMAD HAKIMI bin HAIRUL AMIR, and I will present the third point for the invalidity pension scheme and the qualifying condition for the employment injury scheme. Thirdly, one of the qualifying conditions that need to be fulfilled to ensure the person are entitled to invalidity pension scheme are the person must fulfill the qualifying condition at the full or reduced qualifying period. It means that the individual must ensure their contribution based on the minimum rate that set up by Social Security Organisation. Based on the case study, Fadilah company stopped the contribution on her at Social Security Organisation at 2015, but the contribution has passed 24 months as required because she has started work at the company since 2012 for 6 years. Therefore, she is entitled to get benefit from the program. Next, one of the qualifying conditions that need to be fulfilled to ensure the person are entitled to the employment injury scheme are accidents that happen by the workers while travelling. This scheme will protect the employees from accidents which happen while travelling if the employee is on the road between their home and their workplace, on the road between their workplace and the place where the person takes meal during lunch hour, and a trip for any purpose that is directly related to their job. In this case, Fadilah has been involved in accident while she was on her way back to her workplace after sending document to the subsidiaries of Maju Teguh Construction. This incident happened during Fadilah work hour because the company asked her to work on that day. Therefore, she is entitled to get the benefits from the program.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Haykal bin Yusni. So the answer for question 4 is every employer is liable for paying EPF contributions on behalf of any employee hired under a contract of service. Employers must verify that accurate monthly contributions are withdrawn from employee paychecks and remitted to the EPF. Failure to do so will cause the employer to face a penalty. And in Puan Fadilah's case, it is seen that employer had not remitted Puan Fadilah's contribution to the EPF, which is illegal, and no information were disclosed to Puan Fadilah. EPF Act 1991 stated that the employer who fails to contribute to the EPF board on behalf of the employee shall be liable to an imprisonment term not exceeding 3 years or a fine not exceeding 10,000 or both. Under Section 48 Clause 3 of the EPF Act 1991, if the employer is found guilty, they can be imprisoned for up to 6 years and or fined up to 20,000. For overdue standing payments, the employer would also obliged to pay late payment fines and dividends to the EPF under Section 45 of the EPF Act 1991. This is because the employer was supposed to remit Puan Fadilah contribution to the EPF every month, but it was stopped for no logical reasons, thus causing the employers to commit an offence. Therefore, Puan Fadilah could claim her rights to the EPF withdrawal. Thank you.